Hello there, welcome back. My name is Elena.
And I'm Fotios, and this is the Game Court.
And today we're reviewing Septima.
Septima is a 1-to-4 player game designed by Robin Hegedűs, published by Mindclash, and features amazing art by Villő Farkas. And of course, Septima is a very hot game. We just received it maybe a couple of weeks ago in our post.
We did an unboxing as well.
We did.
As soon as it arrived, you can have a look over
Check
there.
the link here, yes.
It's quite a game to punch and box.
And rebox, yes.
Unbox, punch and box.
It's a Mindclash production, right? It's
That's
what
exactly what you
expect
expect.
from Mindclash. Yes, they sell it as the lighter Mindclash game, but if you judge by its weight, it's not really a light game at all. Like, you see here, it's basically as thick as Tricerion, as you can see from this box here. It's not light at all.
Maybe when they said light, they actually meant the complexity of the game, not the box. Duh.
Well, if you want to talk about complexity of the game, yeah, it is a bit lighter than the standard Mindclash game. Like, you have the Anachrony, you have the Tricerion, you have the Voidfall, which, by the way, we did a review recently. But this is a lighter experience, but it's not like a 2 out of 5 light experience. It's maybe a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah,
yes.
I'd still say it's a heavy game. And what this game lets you do is they let you try to be a witch and build your coven. Septima actually is the witch that's like the super boss witch that's in charge over this area of the town that you actually try to build your coven. She's retiring, so you're trying to become the new Septima. What you do is you have your coven of witches, and you try to make potions, little potions that actually give you some extra perks, or potions to heal patients. And patients are either throughout the city, well, I would call it a town maybe, throughout the town, and there are plenty of them in the hospital. So you technically heal people that give you a lot of other perks. They let you go up some tracks, and that will give you some extra perks.
And you have to go around the forest, also collect the material, and depending on the moon phase of the game, different material will be easier to collect than others. And also you have to move your witch around very sneakily so you can avoid the witch hunters.
Which are, at the beginning, not that many, but they do creep up very easily.
Yes. And you also have your ritual track, which you can also go up this track with many different ways. We'll discuss about it, but also advancing on the ritual track will also give you some very powerful spells.
Which you need because you're a witch.
Yes. And the witch in your coven, you have space up to 4 witches. This will give you some different abilities as well during the game. So the game plays over 4 seasons, and each season has 5 moon phases, which is a bit weird because a season is 3 months.
Because they don't have.
And yeah,
they only have
is
like 3 or 4.
Anyway.
Maybe we don't know enough. Never mind. 5 moon phases.
5 moon phases. And in each moon phase, what you do, you secretly select a card. You can discuss about it. You can negotiate even with, not negotiate like, I will give you something, but you can discuss, I'm going to play this card. Please play it with me so we can match. If you match a card with another leader, with another witch leader, then you get the extra perk that the card has there, but also you increase your suspicion. Exactly, which is not very good when the witch hunters are tracking you down. So basically, that's what you do in each moon phase. You play a card. So in each season you play 5 cards, and the whole game you play 20 cards.
I mean, every card has one single action unless you match with somebody else, and that includes Septima too. She is on the board, and she does have her symbols as well, which change every round. And if you do match with somebody, you can play the second action on the card.
And then at the end of the 5 moon phases, which is at the end of the season basically, we also have the trial, where if we have enough of our loyal citizens in the crowd, we will influence the crowd and potentially
the trial,
save.
The trial actually entails a witch that they manage to catch, and it's up in there, and everybody is trying to either boo her or him, or we try to save them. So it's a combination of, will the witch be killed on the
basically burned
over there, or we save the witch, and in that case that's our witch that we put in our coven.
Yes. And there's a bit of area majority game there as well, who is going to put the most loyal citizens out, but also there's a luck in the game there because all the citizens go into the bag, and this a common bag building, if you wish.
And I would like to mention, because we played it, because it looked very, very beautiful and very interesting, we have played with the shapeshift
Shape-shifting expansion.
And that entails swapping one card from your normal deck with this shapeshift card, and that allows you to actually change your witch, your
leader
with an animal of your choice. You have up to 2 animals to choose from, and both of them have different abilities. And in that case, the witch hunters will not see you because you've converted yourself into an animal, which I think it's a pretty cool idea. You can do less actions, but I think the more you maximize these actions whilst you are undercover as an animal, the better the outcome. You have no suspicion, or you can decrease your suspicion that way too, because nobody can see you. And I think it's a pretty cool idea. At the end of every round, you can change back without any cost or anything else.
However, being an animal is also a bit restrictive. If you keep the animal for the next round, you can only play a particular number, or not a particular type of action cards.
They
have some limitations.
Correct.
Another thing that happens in the game, as we said, when you match your card with another witch leader, you increase your suspicion, but you get also an opportunity to go up to the ritual track only if gods align. The witches' gods align, because to progress on your ritual track, you have to have a symbol on top of your marker, like on the next level, that matches the symbol of the card you played.
That you've just played, exactly.
Yeah, and most of the times you would go for the cards that allow you to collect ingredients or create brew potions or heal patients. So most of the times you wouldn't put so much emphasis in that. However, this ritual track allows you to take some very powerful spells, and if you have the spells, you can make your game basically.
Now, the overall feel of the game, though, like the way we presented so far, it sounds like, mystical and magical and beautiful, and you do all the little witchy stuff, and you heal people, and then you're trying to hide away from the witch hunters. It sounds also mystical and beautiful, but I feel that the game is so far away from what we've presented. I feel that the game is so incredibly restrictive. Everything is incredibly tight and incredibly restrictive. That kind of takes the fun away a little.
The game for me is the exact opposite of a sandbox game, I would say. To win in the game, I think you have to focus on healing patients. If you don't do that, I don't think you have any chance of winning the game. And to heal patients, you have to collect ingredients, you have to brew potions, and you have to spend these potions to heal the patients. And then you have to do the circle again and again and again. So it feels a bit repetitive in this aspect to me, and it's also a bit slow, I would say. Not much is happening.
Not much is happening, exactly. I feel like in 5 rounds, as the moon goes, I felt in 5 rounds I could barely manage to get some resources to make the potions. I mean, like, if I managed to collect the resources and make the potions in 5 rounds, I'll be a happy person.
Yes.
But it's incredible. Everything is happening very slow. And most of the times what I was doing, maybe I was doing something wrong, but most of the times I was just trying to hide away from the witch hunters, because again, the more suspicion you have, the more they come after you. And the way they come after you,
you can lose your witches.
Is going up the suspicion track. You have little numbers, so the higher up you go, the more spaces they can move towards you. And if they catch you, you will lose a witch, which is incredibly hard to get. I just felt that most of the times I was just running away from the witch hunters and just collecting stuff, but on a very, very incredibly slow pace.
And even if you match with another player to make your action even more powerful, this match doesn't really guarantee a progress in the ritual track. And even if you'd get a progress in the ritual track, I don't think it's such a big deal, to be honest with you. So most of the times I would feel that I wouldn't like to match to not get the extra suspicion, rather to match and to get this minimal extra benefit.
I mean, I managed to get myself quite high up the track of the potion track. What is it called, the potion track?
Ritual track.
The ritual track, sorry. Up the ritual track, where I managed to get plenty of spells. And they did help me to some extent, because they were quite powerful compared to what the game offers you. The spells themselves were fairly powerful, especially that I managed to get a few that I could combine, and the game allows you to combine them, and that gave me, a bit of sense. But I don't feel at any point that I did like this action that made me feel very happy that I finally achieved it. I felt that I struggled throughout the game for resources, for anything really.
Yes.
And at no point I feel that I managed to achieve anything in the game. Even when I managed to do the potions, or even when I managed to heal the patients, I could heal like 3 patients at a time and I'd still not feel satisfied. So I didn't feel that, you struggle for something and then finally arrive, you manage to do it. You do it and you're like,
Meh.
exactly, meh. And then what? So it's very disappointing of how amazing the theme is and how
the
amazing
art.
the art is and how amazing the production.
Yes.
Everything sounds so incredibly beautiful. And then you play the game and you're like, there's no way this is the whole game.
Yes, and we did play the game a few times, and we did play with the advanced mode and the expansions, but I don't feel satisfied personally. I would expect something more.
Some people might say that playing with the expansions and playing with all the extras, like the spells or like the animal expansion, the shapeshift, will add too much variability. But I feel that even with this variability, I feel that I'm not getting enough. I'm glad that we played with everything that we could at the same time at one point, and that gave us, a different insight of the game. But again, even with everything, I felt that, there's still some space for more.
Yes, and the rulebook suggests that if you are a new player, don't play with advanced mode, don't play with expansions. But I would argue if you are a seasoned player like us, and by the way, seasoned, go for it. Just put everything in. Yeah. It's fine.
It's not that complicated.
It's not that exactly. It's not that complicated. It's not that complicated.
Just a bit of salt and pepper.
Exactly.
Yeas and nays?
Yes.
Do you want to go first?
I'll go first. And
rock, paper, scissors?
No, I'll go first. Okay.
No, you said it now. Go for it.
Okay. Production for me is the first yay, and we were really looking forward for this game to arrive in our post. It was one of our most anticipated games for this year, and we were really excited to open it, and we unboxed it, and we saw everything was super nice quality, super nice cards and tokens, and amazing metal wisdom tokens.
Everything is beautiful about it.
And trays and everything's art is amazing. So yeah, that's the first big yay for me, I would say.
My yay was actually about the theme of the game and the art of the game. I mean, production, I wouldn't expect anything less from Mindclash really, and I think I'm talking very superficially here, but every time we play one of their games, it's always very
top notch.
It's so high quality, and this never let us down at any point. It always managed to surprise us somehow, and this game doesn't do any less than that. The theme, I think, is incredible, and I think everything about the theme and everything about the art is so beautiful and so integrated, and with the moon faces and the witch hunters and the trial, and it's all so like beautiful and mystical. It's really so engaging.
An A is that the game is way too long for what it is, in my opinion. The box is lying by saying it's 25 minutes per player.
Lying?
Yeah.
Don't lie to me!
Yeah. 25 minutes per player is...
No way.
Our 2-player games took us about a couple of hours. A 3-player game was even more than 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So no way it's 25 minutes per player. If it was, it might have been actually a good experience. But because it drags like that and the game feels slow, it doesn't feel satisfying enough. And that's, for me, the biggest nay.
I could probably double that, to be perfectly honest. I think that's one of the strongest. The game doesn't really deliver as much as, the hype around it. And I'm not saying the hype as in when you hear how amazing the theme is, and I liked what kind of mechanics they chose, and everything was so well integrated, where you go during the night and you collect the little ingredients, try to hide away from the witch hunters, and you go make your potions and heal, because technically that's what witches used to do, and it sounds so fantastic and you're so willing to play it, and then it's just, you get stuck in this incredibly tight game. It's so tight and it's so hard to do anything, and when you finally do it, it's not even that satisfying, and it's such a letdown because it sounded like such an amazing game.
Other game recommendations? I think the first game recommendation from my side would be Concordia, and that's because of how the game is played, in the sense that in your action, what you do is select a card and basically you do what the card says. Here, it doesn't feel good enough. In Concordia, though, it is as smooth as butter.
My recommendation is even better, because yours, apart from the mechanic, does not make any sense. Why would you say Concordia and Septima? Like, they don't make any sense. They're not the same thing.
What do
My
you mean?
recommendation is Witchstone, and I think we've
Oh,
spoken
yes.
about Witchstone before.
Yes, nice.
And it's a super duper game, and it has witches in it, and it even has a cauldron, and it has everything you want in it, and it's a super fabulous game. And you can increase your actions by making little combinations onto your little cauldron, which is, by
Yes.
the way, your board. So I really recommend that game because it's awesome.
So yeah, that was our review video for Septima.
I hope you enjoyed our very disappointed review.
Thank you so much for watching anyway.
See you hopefully later.
Bye!